But something a lot of listeners were talking about, Jim, was Christian Cage's appearance at the press scrum. Now let's get going with this. It starts right away with him getting a question from Brian Alvarez. I thought they were working together, but a lot of people thought that he was really putting down Alvarez. Let's see what you think.
Okay.
To the 4-year anniversary. And speaking of main events, the winner of tonight's WrestleDream main event, here is the TNT champion, Mr. Christian Cage.
Did they turn the applause sign on late?
I don't need your lame applause. I know how good I am.
Questions for the champion?
None? Can I go then?
God.
Hi, Mark Hope
They're
with
just
the Mark Hope
ignoring
Show,
him?
101.5 FM, Kate on Las Vegas. Your old friend showed up tonight. What were you thinking?
I said this is the last scrum. I don't have any friends other than Luchasaurus. Was it a surprise to see him? Yes. Did I care? Not really. Doesn't change anything for me. I'm still the face of TNT. I'm still the TNT champion. I'm still the man to beat in AEW. You understand that, right? That a few short months ago, people were saying this title meant nothing. And I've taken it, and I main evented WrestleDream tonight with it. I made this title. This title, in my opinion, is more prestigious than the world title. Mainly because I carry it. But I think my track record speaks for itself. And I think you have to give me my flowers now. Do you not?
All right, let's stop it there for a second. He doesn't talk to Brian Alvarez yet. I read the notes wrong. What do you think of Christian? What do you think of his general tone? What do you think? I mean, a lot of people are raving about it, and there's elements of it I really like, but when you've seen a guy talk for 25 years and all of a sudden they're completely different, is that really good or is that just acting?
I think, honestly, he's being a professional here, a professional wrestler, because he's being asked after main eventing the pay-per-view and having that long match to stay up until 2 o'clock in the morning or however long these things go to talk to a bunch of fucking marks. There's no journalists here. It's a bunch of people applauding everybody that comes in and asking, how do you feel about something? What are your feelings on this? So at least he's acting like a god, and acting can be acting or just the way you comport yourself. He's acting like a professional wrestler and not coming out there going, oh, I love playing with my friends and we did so many cool videos the night before the show. He sounds like a pro wrestler and a professional athlete and an obnoxious dick. And all of those things are good and refreshing in this environment.
Well, speaking of obnoxious dicks, let's go back to Christian Cage.
It's Brian from the Wrestling Observer. When did you
Great, like talking to marks.
when did you first see Nick Wayne wrestle? And what were your thoughts when you saw that first match?
I've never seen
Wait a
Nick
minute,
Wayne
stop
wrestle.
it here.
Yep.
Stop it here.
Oh, well, hold on, I clicked the wrong thing. There we go.
So, again, Uncle Dave's mouth organ, Brian Alvarez, gets in the room, and the first thing he asks is a question about his friend from next county over, good old Nick Wayne, instead of anything about the fucking main event between Christian and Darby. Nick Wayne was involved, but let's get the fucking meat of the matter here first. All right, I'm sorry.
The only thing, though, is if you know the guy is working, and there's a difference in tone that we've heard so far between Christian and MJF and Edge, Adam Copeland, not that they weren't saying things that were part of the work in the way they were saying things, but this is a little different. I mean, again, I don't know why Alvarez is asking this question, but it's not like he could say, so how much is Tony paying you? You're not going to get anything from Christian when he's in this mood or not.
Well,
mood.
he ought to try.
I mean, that's the thing. When you know that the guy's out there doing he's continuing his thing during the media scrum, what do you feed him? Do you play into it? Should you sit back? What do you do?
I would think that he would say, you just nearly killed Darby Allin. If he gets out of the hospital and manages to recover from the beating you gave him, do you think he deserves another rematch, or are you done with him? Are you moving on to greener pastures? Not, hey, and my buddy Nick Wayne, All right, I don't care.
Well, let's go back to Christian Cage.
Do you wrestle?
Thank you.
Do you wrestle?
No,
You don't wrestle.
I did back in the day.
I'm sure you sucked, which is why you're here asking me questions.
I wrestled his father.
But what, did you give a star rating tonight? Did you give me
I
a
did
really
not
cool
give a
star rating?
I did not give a star rating.
So what was the question again?
I was wondering what you thought when you first saw Nick Wayne wrestle. But you said you never saw him.
I've never
wrestle.
seen him wrestle.
Okay. Well, thank you.
I know he's a good boy, though.
He is a good boy.
He was a little bit lost,
Yeah.
but he found his way tonight. And I will guide him to greatness. I will groom him to take over one day everything that's mine. Nick is a fine boy. I see a lot of potential in him. I didn't need to see him wrestle to know how good he is, to know his potential. He's wise beyond his years, young Nick Wayne.
All right, let's stop it there. So a lot of fans thought that this was legitimately him giving Alvarez shit. I thought it was clearly two guys in different ways working with each other, but there's no personal issue at all. What do you think?
No, I mean, they're working. I think that Christian is working his gimmick. And he wasn't going to give any smart answers because he doesn't believe in that shit, apparently, and good for him. And he's out there doing what he's supposed to be doing. I don't think that he and Alvarez came up with that and wrote it down and said, okay, this is what we're going to perform. I think that Christian just is being a fucking heel and took the question and did what he did with it. I don't think he particularly cares about hurting Alvarez's feelings, but I don't think that was indicative of Christian hates Alvarez more than the average person that he hates.
Well, let's hear more of the heel media scrum work of Christian. Cage, that is.
JC from Happy Sports. Christian, you just said that you were going to mold Nick Wayne. Is it more on the other end? Are you brainwashing Nick Wayne?
Brainwashing. I'm just telling you.
That was
the
a
truth.
decent question.
See, that, I mean, again, though, that's a question that's kind of feeding into what's happening storyline-wise. Is that what you think
Yeah.
should be happening here?
Yeah, because that's what you're going to get. And that's what the issue is. And if this is see, here's the thing. Tony Khan is setting these whole things up because he likes them and they're fun and he gets to host them.
Yeah, he
But
likes
if
the attention he gets.
And he likes the attention. Yeah, there is fun and the attention. He gets to host it. Here's all my toys out talking to you people because of me, whatever. They're useless to begin with because all these people in the room are going to cover the goddamn promotion and everything it does regardless of what. So it's to make Tony feel good. But if Christian can go out there and show some people how to fucking be a heel or a babyface and stay in gimmick and stay in within the bounds of the story and what you're doing, then at least maybe he's giving him an example. But otherwise, I think he's probably just pissed off. He has to stay up until 2:00 in the morning instead of going back to the hotel and trying to find some food.
Nick knows the truth when he hears it. I'm champion. I'm sitting here as the man in AEW. I'm the most talked about wrestler in this company. Why would Nick Wayne not want my guidance? Do you have an answer for that? You didn't answer my question.
He's better without
You didn't answer my question. You're just telling me an opinion. Okay. Anybody have an intelligent question?
See, I gotta say, this is like the best work of his career, here at this media scrub. He's doing a good job here.
See, some people, you can kind of let them do their own thing, and it turns out good.
Hi, Omar Q from Real Take Wrestling. It's always interesting to me.
Wait, what was it?
Omar Q from Real Take Wrestling.
Okay.
Sorry. It's always interesting to me when wrestlers take apart the mat on the ring and expose the wood. What was going through your mind when you decided to do that?
I wanted to hurt Darby Allin. I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
I thought you said you were going to out-wrestle him tonight.
I did out-wrestle him. My hand was raised at the end. I beat him 2 falls to none.
Isn't that the kind of stuff that he would normally do that you said proves he's not a great wrestler?
Did I say that? I don't remember saying that.
So now Tony's working with him and then Tony's thing now is he likes to get in there and kind of work with the heel. And then he makes like these wacky facial expressions, like he's reacting to the thing that he's completely not surprised by, as if he's surprised by it.
But that is Tony's real face, though.
I'm not saying it's his fake face. Let's go back to Christian's fake face.
Questions for the champ.
We did see an old friend show up tonight, but I was wondering, as the title holder, do you have your eye set on anybody else as far as a challenger, or are you just waiting for someone to step up next?
Why would I target somebody? I have the most prestigious championship in this company. People should be lining up to step in the ring with me. I'm the biggest star in this company. Just being in my presence elevates them. Of course they're going to line up and challenge me. Well, I'm not challenging anybody. I'm sure that there's a lineup out that door right now. What's up, Tony?
Well, I think there is a line out the door. You're a great champion. I think it was a great main event, and I think you've proven you're a great champion. It's been a short time you've held the title, a matter of weeks, but in these recent weeks, I think you've proven that.
It's going on 4 months. Glad your timelines are in order.
Okay. Well, let's have more questions for the champ.
Awkward.
Yeah, there's a lot of silence, and Christian, I got to give it to him, he holds the face. He doesn't break.
Yeah, because nobody knows how to react to wrestlers actually kayfabing them and being professional. They're like, well, he's not telling the truth. He's trying to do his gimmick. Fuck.
Do you think there's an argument for the way that Christian's handling himself here, that he's not to take anything away from MJF, but Christian's he's acting like his belt's the big belt in the company.
He should. Who else is going to get it over if he doesn't?
And it hasn't been over. He's actually repairing it now, I think.
Yes, and that's part of being a fucking obnoxious heel like Christian is you're an egotist. You're convinced that you're the greatest and that everybody else is basking in your glory, and etc. And I go back to this generation fine. They like to go out and talk to the media, even if the media is a bunch of children with their own wrestling websites. But if you took the major stars of 30 years ago and said, okay, after the goddamn pay-per-view, when you've been beat to hell, then we're going to have you all sit around for 2 or 3 hours till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning talking to a bunch of fans that have websites. And we want you to tell the truth to them and speak openly about how much fun you're having working on creative things to do with your friends in the matches. They would have all grabbed their fucking bags and left. Not a soul would have been there. So at least Christian is trying to do something to make good of a bad situation by doing something to get him over instead of make the business look like a bunch of fucking romper room fucks.
Well, let's get one last question for Christian Cage. TNT champion.
Lyrics Win Monthly Pure. So when you say that AEW needs a father figure, what does that entail?
There's a lot of lost souls in this company that need guidance. I feel it's my duty, my civil duty, to make sure that they're guided in the right direction. And Nick Wayne, like I said, he's got a bright, bright future now. Smart boy.
I noticed at the beginning of the show tonight, as we did the opening ceremony for the late great Antonio Inoki, I noticed you were watching on at the beginning of the event.
Yep. They lost their grandfather.
What?
He's always watching.
I'm always watching.
Any more questions for the great champion?
Anecdotally.
It was a classic main event. It was a classic pay-per-view, and you've been a huge part of what I think has been the best run of AEW shows we've ever done. Largely thanks to you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, it's been great having the champion here. Let's hear it for the TNT champion, Mr. Christian Cage.
Thank you. That's why I don't use it.
What did somebody knock the coffee pot over? What happened
No,
there?
they have a thing where they have the belt displayed on it, and Christian knocked it over, and it made a loud crash like me putting my marimba down.
Ah, the marimba again.
That's right. Any final thoughts on Christian's appearance here?
Again, you know, it's what MJF was good at doing when he was a heel, which is actually using this stupid, pointless, waste of time media scrum to get people talking about what you're saying or get your shit over. And everybody else is just going out there telling the truth. Oh, yeah, it's all phony and we love doing this to each other. And these guys in there are trying to do business. So there you go.
I'm looking at some of the other appearances during this media scrum. You had MJF, obviously, Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega together. It's easy to go out there when you know you're never going to be asked a question about any of the CM Punk stuff. Then was Christian Cage, Swerve Strickland, Bryan Danielson, Chris Statlander, Orange Cassidy and Shibata.
How long did this fucking thing go?
Darby Allin,